How's it going, guys? It's been a while, but I've been back queuing some mock betas, and I've been having lots of fun learning Windwalker there. So I'll go over a couple of games that I ran in threes with some commentary, and I'll show you quickly my talents and my glyphs set up there and what kind of gear I'm running with. And yeah, then we'll get into the games. So let's get my camera out of here. And yeah, let's go into the talents. So first you want to run with Tiger's Lust, Chi Wave, Chi Brew, Leg Sweep, Healing Elixirs, and Rushing Jade Wind. So you can sub out Leg Sweep for Ring of Peace if you don't need the additional stuns. And Healing Elixirs is fantastic to run here. Sometimes you can sub it out for Diffuse Magic there if it's versus Double Caster. And Rushing Jade Wind, absolutely amazing. Just make sure you aren't energy starving yourself and you're generating enough chi and putting your Rising Sun Kick and Fists of Fury on cooldown there. So for glyphs, the two that never change are Touch of Death and Touch of Karma, and you want to have the minor glyph of Blackout Kick there. Now, the ones that you sub out are between Sparring, Fists of Fury, sometimes the Healing Spheres, and the Incap glyph for Paralysis. So if we take a look at Sparring, so to actually get the benefit of Sparring, you need to be attacking a melee DPS and they need to be attacking you back. Versus Double Caster, you won't get the benefit of Sparring, so this is only good to run versus one melee and one caster DPS. Glyph of Fist of Fury is good for the parry chance with either one melee in twos or two melee in threes. So even if you leg sweep and then you do like a half fist, and they're going to be stunned for the first half, the extra parry chance is quite beneficial because of your Swift Reflexes talent. So whenever they attack you and you parry, you're going to be doing additional damage back to them. So having that extra parry is really good on Fists of Fury there. And if you do need the Incap glyph there, if you have a dot class on your team, you can also just sub that out, run the Incap glyph there to make sure you have clean setups, and go from there. So just quickly going over my gear. So you want to mainly prioritize crit and haste for your gear there. I'm human, so I'm running with the badge trinket and the insignia for the proc. And yeah, let's get into some games with commentary. Alrighty, we're back. Queuing some Windwalker Lock Shaman. Probably one of the best rated comps for Windwalker. I think it's probably the most S+ tier comp you can run. And we're playing with no add-ons, no communication, and no idea what's happening. We're having some fun on the beta. So the main real objective of this comp is to cleave and swap and do a lot of pressure there. You don't do too many CC goes. Obviously, you want to chain your stuns with some fears into some incaps on the healer, but mainly you just want to cleave them down, right? And the best way you can do that is with your images, Storm, Earth, and Fire. So a big thing you can do with your images is if you put them on two targets, and then you hit the third target, and then when you Rising Sun Kick, it will spread your Mortal Strike onto every target, right? So combining that with Warlock Dots, triple Mortal Strike, it's pretty deadly, right? So we see Healing Tide Totem go out. I do need an add-on for better nameplates, so we kill those right away. But Druid just dies. You know, images are on him. He's got the Warlock Dots. We're doing an insane amount of pressure with Rushing Jade Wind, Tiger Eye Brew stacks, and the Warlock Dots, and we're just melting them down. It's a blast. I love playing this comp. So, and these aren't bad players either. We're playing into some pretty alright people. So, a big thing here is that we're trying to get double stuns. We're going out and we're putting our images. So instantly putting the image out on the warrior, send a disarm, and then we're right up there putting pressure on the pally and the warlock. I nimble out of this. I slow them both with Serpent Kick, and I get a double leg sweep here. While my images is all the way back on the warrior with my warlock there, and we actually just crank the warrior out and just kill him. And yeah, we're just up there putting pressure on the warlock and the pally, and because the warrior is a little bit overextended, my warlock in the image just cleaves them down. And a big thing that I noticed after running these games is that you can use your cancel aura on your roll. So they took this out in Shadowlands, which I was kind of upset about because I use this a lot and I did a lot of sick plays with it in BFA, and just like getting used to it again and like having it back in your toolkit is absolutely insane. I didn't realize I could do it in this queue session, but I've been starting to play with it a lot more. And yeah, I'd love to go into it in a bit further detail in some other videos. It's really good for canceling your animation halfway through to line up a leg sweep, or just even getting your distance correct too. If you have to close a shorter distance instead of having to like kind of aim it with jump and kind of guess it, you can just cancel it like in the middle of the roll there. And a big thing too is that I realized that your transcendence, so when setting up your port, is a 45-second cooldown. So at the start of the game, when we pushed over to their pillar and I initially set up a port, I couldn't do that right away by setting up another port. So I had to wait a little bit, and midway through there, you saw me go back, set up a port to make sure I have somewhere as an escape. And yeah, just getting used to all the tools of Mop Windwalker. It's really fun. One thing you want to do is, and the first thing I'm going to do when I get my weak aura set up is having a tracker for who my image is on and when they're up and when they get canceled. Because again, maintaining your image uptime and keeping your mortal strikes up is really insane for this comp, especially, and honestly any comp you do, even like 2v2s, right? There's a lot of little CCs that can take off your images here. And not having any add-ons or comms, and I just came off of playing hardcore classic WoW for the past like 2 years. I've been having a blast with it, but I'm super excited to get back into Arena, and I've been having a lot of fun with these games here. So I didn't realize Resto Druids have block, so this guy just blocked off my karma, which is always fun seeing, like, what the hell, how did that happen? But yeah, learning out what the abilities do here, and really just making sure that one thing I realized is that in general, you more so want to have like a bit better setups in Mop and making sure everything's clean. So saving your Tiger Eye Brew stacks until they stack up to a decent amount, then throwing out your images, throwing out the Rushing Jadewind, spreading your Rising Sun Kick there. So here we get a really good spread of pressure. So I realized my image fell off. After this, we go back, reset. I'm gonna stop the ring here. Quick little Tiger's Lust in cap. But he just palm sheeps him right away. I realized I could have actually used my Zen meditation to eat that sheep as well. So just watching back the footage, that's something I could have done with the sheep there to eat the CC, even though I had already incapped it. But yeah, here we get a nasty go here. So I put out both my images, one on the mage, one on the druid. We're cranking the warlock. We have the Tiger Eye Brew stacks out. We triple Mortal Strike spread. And we throw out the Rushing Jadewind, and the druid's just rotting. He can't keep up with the pressure. We got Warlock dots, we got Rushing Jadewind, we got triple Mortal Strike. He's gonna go down. And that's the beauty of playing this comp. Like, I just, out of every other comp I've queued, this by far feels the best. And yeah, you just go out, you cleave, do big damage there. And yeah, I'll try to give a quick play-by-play on what you try to do there. So immediately when you get into the game, you want to pop one stack of Chi Brew and Expel Harm right away. And I tried to Spinning Fire Blossom the warrior out of stealth. So I see the mage pushing up pretty far, so he puts the deep, and I make sure to kick him on that on the sheep there to prevent the CC chain. Warrior pops all his cooldowns on me with Wreck, Skullbanner, Colossus. So I'm going to instantly just Karma the mage here. So we're putting pressure out on the mage. He's actually going to block here, so we're swapping right back over to the warrior. He pops his parry, we're on the druid, right? Everyone's rotting, and then I'm going to wall here because I do see my shaman's counterspelled there. Druid trinkets out of the leg sweep, and instead of chasing, I'm going to immediately throw my image on him and start hitting the closest target there. So as I'm putting pressure on the mage back here, my image is still on the druid back there. keeping my rushing Jadewind up, and just mortal striking with that. And then as I see the warrior start to push back, we're able to push up. And because my image was on the druid that whole time, I was getting a lot of good cleave value, and I was making sure the druid was nice and buttered up for when I swapped to him there. This game, immediately going in with the double sweep, sending a fist off of that, and then we start putting up pressure, throwing up the images. One thing I've considered doing is maybe canceling my images when I go for a Fist of Fury, because when you fist from your main target, yourself, the player, it stuns. But if you have your images out on 2 targets that are far away from your original target, they won't actually get stunned. And I was thinking that if I were to cancel my images before I fist, then I would just get a lot more fist damage, because the other people could just walk out of your fist, and then you'd be losing a lot of damage on your main target there. And I tested it. You can cancel your images mid-fist, and your damage will go back up to normal mid-fist there. So it's something I've been playing around with, and something that I'd like to test out a bit more. But I do think it's worth it, because when I did that original fist on the pally back there, if I cancel my images before, the damage probably would have killed him like right away. And I know with high mobility classes, they could just like blink away or just walk out of your fist there. So I do have a macro to cancel my images there, and just really, it seems in this expansion you have to micromanage your images a lot more throughout the whole game instead of just on the burst windows. And it does seem worth it, right? I mean, you can't really fixate your images like you used to, but they automatically jump sometimes, like when you initially throw them out. So they'll jump right away, and that'll be the fixate, right? So sometimes they'd lose some uptime, but having them out is super worth it. And I don't know if you saw or not, but right there, I'll just go back really quick. I had, when I did chase and swap to the druid, I did actually cancel my image there. So I had a bit more single target damage on him. So my blackout kick did full damage, and I closed it out there. So when he blinked away, my image wasn't there. I quickly cancel my image, and then I just blackout kick, and I get full damage on him there. So there are some good scenarios where like you want to do single target, you just cancel the images and you crank one target. But I think that comes with just kind of feeling it out when it feels good to cancel it and when it doesn't. Because yeah, obviously, like it does cost you globals to put the images out there. And a big thing I've been realizing is that your rushing Jadewind is so strong with the images out, but making sure not to energy starve yourself. There's been a lot of times where I've just been throwing out my rushing Jadewind a lot, and I'm not generating chi from throwing it out, and I'm leaving my rising sun kick off cooldown for a couple seconds. And optimally, you want to always press rising sun kick off cooldown, because it's by far your best damage, even when like going out and cleaving there, and it reapplies your mortal strike there. So I have been building haste a little bit, and I've been getting into a better habit of not just spamming out rushing Jadewind so much, because yeah, you will lose damage by throwing it out there a little bit too often. But it is a very great tool to use, especially with cleave comps like this. So this is the last game here, but I do hope you guys enjoyed this style of video. I'd love to provide you guys with some more guides coming in the future. I'm definitely going to queue a lot more MOP beta games there. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a comment. I have been streaming out on Twitch, but I have been playing more so Classic, but you might see me with a couple of MOP beta games there as well. So have a great rest of your day, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.